secured the rank of 78 in UPSC CSE 2024. Hailing from a small town of Jaunpur in Uttar Pradesh, he decided to outgrow his surroundings. Starting off his studies from his local school, he made it up to IIT Hyderabad. His sheer grit and perseverance led him to secure the rank of 78 in his fourth attempt. His rank is a testimony not only to his hard work but also to his smart choices. Without further ado, I would now ask Pavan sir to welcome him with the bouquet. So I would like to ask you to proceed and guide us all into his process.
Yes, definitely. So basically, already you've seen rank 78, so nothing to actually tell about him basically. So he already done a lot of hard work over here. So he will share the journey basically in whatever the doubt you are in, especially regarding myth. Correct? Whatever myth that is in your mind, you can ask from him. He will basically clear. And one of important thing is he is the topper of basically this anthropology also optional. Highest marks basically in anthropology in UPSC. Okay, so this year. So that's it. So now you can start. Okay.
Thank you, sir. मेरा थोड़ा throat is not very proper because I gave the same talk yesterday. But I will try to go slow, and so that we can have a one-to-one, like a two-way communication. Like it should not be a monologue. Am I audible till back? Okay, fine. So, little bit about my journey, then we'll go. So, I graduated in 2020, and since then I started preparing. So, total I gave 4 attempts, and in my first 2 attempts I cleared prelims, but I was not able to clear the mains. Then in my third attempt I could not clear the prelims, and then in my fourth attempt I cleared all the stages and I got this rank. So basically my strategy here is to tell you about the truths, some brutally honest truth, because there are so much misinformation, and I would like to give my understanding of this preparation, what I have understood, and then I will address your queries about various stages of the examinations. Let us begin with prelims stage. So as prelims is approaching, how many of you are writing this year? Only 2 to 4. Okay, fine. Or I think rest next year, right? Okay, fine. So totally fresh crowd. So I can go with basics and all those things. Okay. So in my 2021 and 2022 prelims, I was able to clear the cutoff by only like 1 marks, 1 marks more than what cutoff was, general cutoff. But when I failed 2023, I changed my approach to the prelims, and this year 2024 I was also able to clear the forest cutoff. Matlab, I must have got 20 marks above the general cutoff. So I made certain changes. Specifically, I want to talk about them and what I did not do in my earlier 2 prelims, so that you can learn. And actually, this preparation is a smart work. Very, very smart work is needed. You cannot you have to understand the demand of the prelims, mains, interview. Each stage has its own specific demands. You have to understand it very properly. Now, in my first two prelims, I was a really hard-working person. I completed all the basic books and all those things that everybody does, but I did not focus on previous year questions. I totally ignored it. I thought that it is only based on knowledge. UPSC is only testing the knowledge. So I was only determined to complete the syllabus and solve test series. I joined like some coaching test series, but I ignored PYQ, because of which what happened that disproportionately high amount of hard work I had to put just to clear the cutoff. But when I understood the pattern of prelims MCQ, then easily, not with much hard work, like I would say this time it was smart work. After I failed 2023 prelims, I came to this conclusion that if I only rely on hard work, then I can fail at any stage. Like there is a high chance to fail. Like earlier I cleared only 1 marks cutoff, so chances है कि next में fail होगा. So now I started doing my previous year question. What I mean by pattern of previous year questions, there are two categories of people. One, only solving previous year questions, seeing the answers, remembering it, trying to learn it. This is one category. Second category is those students who try to decipher the language of UPSC. When I say deciphering the language, mind my words, deciphering the language means there is a pattern in UPSC MCQ, which means that certain types of statements are generally correct, not always. 90% probability that certain types of statement will be correct. Certain types of keywords are there. If you know those keywords, I will give one example, like not absolutely I'm saying, but probability. At the end of the day, it is somehow guesswork also. You have to take some intelligent guessing, all those things. So if you can understand what are the keywords that are generally leading to a certain kind of responses. For example, if I have to say a statement which has only as a keyword, any as a keyword, like completely changing like keyword, steadily increasing, steadily decreasing, these keywords are generally wrong. 90% of cases they are wrong. See, in my earlier 2 prelims, I was not having this insight. I was totally hardworking, relying on hard work. So clear hua, but then failed in 2023. So certain keywords, like you have to focus on keywords. For prelims, keywords, and you have to identify these keywords from previous year question ka MCQ. Go through the previous year question at least 3 to 4 times, very important, and try to understand the words because solution is given. This exercise you have to do on your own, means for example, is like only is there, any is there, then steadily increasing, steadily decreasing. Sometimes data, if data is given in a statement, chances are like 70 to 80% of the time it is given incorrectly. Right? So if data is given, if any organization, institution, bodies are given, generally you will find that wrong hai. That statement is wrong. So why I am giving these examples means you have to look for such kind of patterns. I think now you understand what I am trying to say. This pattern you have to decipher, and actually there are many of my friends, they have completely different insight. Now they understand to very deeper level that they immediately tell without any knowledge that this statement is wrong. Some different people have different level of understanding of the language of the UPSC. My suggestion is you at least solve it 4 to 5 times. Try to understand the pattern, try to understand the keywords. Your marks will definitely improve. This is about PYQ. But along with PYQ, I will come to second point. Actually, second point is basic resources, standard books. They are must. Like you can only solve PYQ, you can only take intelligent guess when you have completely done the standard books. All the standard books for each subject there is. You may be knowing very properly that mentors are there, they guide you. Finish the standard books, revise it at least 5 times, 10 times, as many times possible, as many times you can. Revision is the most important tool to retain the contents. Very difficult, itna vast syllabus is there. So revision, basic resources plus PYQ ka deep analysis. Understand the language, you will start improving marks. One more thing, personally I felt ki suppose there is a pattern ki only type of statement, majority like 70% cases getting wrong. But if you join some coaching ka test series, they deliberately set the option where only statement will be correct. Deliberately, they try to make question paper in such a way. Basically what, if you join such, if you totally rely on any test series, I am saying if you totally following only coaching ka test series, your idea will be distorted. Idea of pattern will be distorted. My suggestion is once you have completed the basic book, first directly go to previous year question instead of joining any coaching ka test series. Because if you immediately join coaching, your idea will be distorted. You will not be able to find any pattern. or every coaching has their own pattern. Like a friend of mine, I will not take name of institute, he solved 10 tests, he initially got less marks, but he somehow deciphered their language pattern, that what the person who is setting their question paper, what he is doing. Then 11 tests he topped. मतलब आइडेंटिफाई किया, हर कोचिंग का अपना पैटर्न है. सो लाइक दैट व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू इज यूपीएससी का पैटर्न. माई सजेशन इज दैट एनी कोचिंग का टेस्ट सीरीज ओनली यूज इट टू इनहेंस योर नॉलेज. What I used to do, I joined the any test series. Suppose I would not even calculate how many questions I got correct in out of 100. One question I solved, immediately I used to go to answer, immediately just gain the knowledge. What content they are trying to teach me. Like my revision is happening. I used to take test series only as a revision tools. Never ever I consider how much marks I am getting. Sometimes 30 marks is there, 50 marks is there, both poor marks. Never make it a concern, because unka pattern is very different. Only revisions should be your focus of any test series, and rely on previous year question. This was my basic strategy for prelims. This I followed in 2024, and forest ka cutoff got cleared. So this is the only thing you have to do. Any doubts?
So, do you suggest, as you were saying, that for clearing the prelims, is it okay?
हाँ, any language you say.
तो आपने बोला था कि prelims को clear करने के लिए आपको PYQs prepare करने चाहिए, right? So, would you suggest कि 2-3 weeks before your prelims you should just go over the PYQs?
See, if you are asking about going for first time PYQ just 2-3 weeks before the prelims, that is not advisable. For revision, I am saying that before prelims, at least I did 4 to 5 times complete PYQ. Like एक साल का process is there. In that 1 year period, I completed 4 to 5 times all the PYQ. And you are saying, I think your question is that just before prelims, if like we want boosting our confidence, तो उस period में, if we don't understand what to do, sometimes anxiety is there, just sit with previous year question paper. This can be done, but totally fresh starting of previous year question just before prelims for 2-3 weeks, I do not advise it. It is up to you. Some people can do, some people, but I do not advise that.
For example, I had started off with the PYQs before, like during my preparation.
Okay.
I had started off. So in the middle, I also solved PYQs, but I did not do it like paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. Right now, I've solved, I've started to solving starting to end all the PYQs, like the whole question papers, to understand the pattern, to like, as you said, revive my brain to understand the language of it. So, is it like a good strategy to take up now? I have already solved all the PYQs, it's just to understand.
Then it's a good strategy. Already solved. You're saying you are just again revising. I think it is just a revision. It is good.
I have forgotten it because of
Actually it happens. In 1 or 2 solving, you will not be able to understand the pattern because you are just beginners. Very difficult to initially understand. Actually, I had to take help of one mentor. Like one friend of mine, he was very expert in deciphering the language. Just in 2023, he cleared forest ka cutoff. I had a conversation with him, what is your secret? So on that day, actually I got to know these things. Earlier, mera bhi studied only knowledge, books, give me 100 books, I will read. Like that kind of psychosis we go into. That is wrong approach. Matlab, a smart preparation, this I am telling about prelims. For all stages, certain smart approach like these. There are certain strategies. If you meet the right kind of people, they will tell, ki bhai, do this. Your chances of getting selected are high. I am not guaranteeing the success. Chances will increase. That is what we do. So, so I met that person. So he started teaching me. I was initially not able to grasp what he's teaching, but I solved it at least 4 to 5 times. Then I made my own notes ki these types of statements are getting correct. Usko revise. You have to revise. Because what happens once you have understood the language, what happens in the paper, you will think that this year UPSC has changed it. Because this year it is doing a game. This year it will do something different. From the past 35 years, it has never done different. This is the secret. Matlab, suppose people know. But in examination hall, they think that this year, I think UPSC has not done it. Thoda opposite hai. Aisa nahi hai. From past 35 years, you take the paper. You apply this logic, you will find the same pattern. So, trust. You have to build a trust ki chalo, this year also it will work. Hopefully it has worked. Matlab, I taught all my tricks to a aspirant and I then gave him the previous year. उसने गलत किया because he said that I understood what you said, but वहाँ पे I thought that you are trying to you are trying to give me questions which are deliberately opposite. मतलब some mindset is different. You have to trust. थोड़ा trust करके you do. It will definitely help. Any questions for prelims? Now your turn. Ask me anything.
So what was your ideal distribution of the day, like from starting?
अच्छा, time distribution. See, I used to divide my whole day into slots, various slots. जैसे 3 slots, generally 3 slots were there. जैसे slot 1 is there, morning. I never used to fix कि इतने बजे से इतने बजे, like this 8 to ऐसा nothing. Like morning slot, whatever I could do before 12. This is slot 1. So that there is no pressure कि इतने बजे बैठना है, 12 पे उठ जाना. That is not the pressure. We have to get out of that mindset. Just slot 1 morning, slot 2 अपना हो गया afternoon, and slot 3 is after evening, like this. So there is no restriction. There is some work may come in between. So what happens once you fix the time? If some work will come, your mind will be diverted. थोड़ा disturb होगा. If you just make it चलो ठीक है. Suppose you have given afternoon slot, 1 hour work, you did some other work, then you will say okay, rest of afternoon is there, let me do it. So थोड़ा mindset का game है. You have to understand, like don't be very rigid. थोड़ा smoothly चलो. This is a long journey. Like it took me 4.5 years. I have seen many aspirants, they come with this mindset ki in first attempt I have to clear. Personally, you may disagree. Personally, I believe ki this mindset is not right, because to give one example, a gardener who goes to the garden, he will pluck those flowers which are ready. Automatically he will pluck and leave those who are not ready. Similar is the UPSC. Once you are ready, it will automatically pluck you up. Don't force it. UPSC is like gardener. It is my mindset. It will pluck you when you are ready. So make yourself ready. Do not think कि this attempt, that attempt, बहुत pressure है. It creates extra pressure. कि 1 year, then you are thinking कि 4 months में optional I have to do. ऐसा नहीं होता. You have to go at your own pace. Everybody has learning pace, right? Somebody learn very fast, somebody very slow. Abhi a fast learner, if you go ask him his strategy, he will say, I completed in 2 months, now you are gone. So abhi you are slow learner, you are gone. So fear, FOMO effect, ki I am not doing enough. My simple suggestion is, like it took me 4.5 years. If I had to meet my younger self, like I did these mistakes. I'm not saying that from day 1 I was like this, ki go at your own pace. Nahi. I was in psychosis ki nikalna in first attempt. Mera yahi tha. But over the year I learned that, this is a process. This exam is a process, like personality building process. From day 1, your inner, like from your deep subconscious, when you sit very still, because this preparation needs stillness, everything will come out. Your deepest fears will come out. Your deepest, awkward moments will come out. It will challenge you in multiple ways. It is an emotional game also. The point is, like in 1 year, like being from IIT background, I had a very high hope with myself कि मेरा तो हो रहा है. First attempt is my game. और all the relatives, friends, उनका कॉल पे next year DM बन रहे हो, we are coming to pick you up, like that. तो अभी क्या हुआ, extra pressure is there. I was like, नहीं, अब तुमको तो हम करके दिखाएंगे. I will show you guys that, your trust, whatever you are placing in me, I will be there for you, like that. Well, people pleasing kind of thing. If they are saying, I have to do. Very wrong mindset, very wrong mindset. What happened? I totally left my natural pace. I came to the pace which I was not designed for. This exam will bring out your real personality. What is deeply in your subconscious, this will bring out. My point is, go with your own pace. If you are able to finish your optional in 6 months, 8 months, do it that pace. Please do not crush it for 4 months. Because once you have done very properly, the day you are ready, like gardener, UPSC will pluck you up and make you an officer. This is why my personal philosophy. So go with your own pace. ऐसे slot में do not very restrict. ठीक है, comfortably करेंगे. Slowly we will do, but try to do the real things like analyze PYQ, these things. फालतू चीज़ें नहीं करना है. Do not create very tight schedule. Like sometimes what happens, इतना ज़्यादा मोटिवेशन होता है. Sometimes suppose we saw some topper talk, अभी कोई रील देखा, गेट ओपन कर रहे हैं, माला, मतलब है ना. आई थिंक यू मे बी सीइंग मार्केट इज फुल बिकॉज दैट इज सेलिंग. ये तो मार्केट फोर्सेज है. आई थिंक PSI ऑप्शनल पीपल विल नो कैपिटलिस्टिक थॉट. तो यू डोंट हैव टू गेट इनटू दैट ट्रैप प्लीज. अभी आपका अपना पेस है, गो विथ योर ओन पेस, बी कंफर्टेबल, enjoy the process. Enjoying is very important. You have to enjoy. You are reading newspaper, immerse yourself into it, very immerse. Have laptop, some topics you are not able to understand, Google it, try to see one video of it. Like this is how you make your preparation is interesting. हर चीज़ if you read, you may not get it. थोड़ा गूगल करो, थोड़ा चैट GPT से पूछो, थोड़ा यूट्यूब पे जाओ, मेक इट इंटरेस्टिंग, enjoy, immerse yourself. अभी ये effortless हो जाएगा. This I am telling now, but I could implement it in my 4th attempt when I got this rank. Easier said than done. बहुत easy है बोलना, ठीक है. But I am just telling you right mindset which I personally believe should be there. तो चलो ये हो गया, अपना slot में divide कर दिया. One slot my was fixed for optional. One slot was fixed for optional. कि whatever happens out of 3 slots, sometimes like depending on the other things variables, one slot like 4 hours का fix. चाहे if I am losing something on GS aspect, I was okay with that, but optional का एक slot is there. So like that, फिर slot 2, you can design as per your schedule and all. I'm just giving a basic framework. So any more questions?
How you are dealing with the current affairs?
Current affairs, very good question. Current affairs के लिए it is so overwhelming. If you see, इतना ज़्यादा sources are there, इतना ज़्यादा if you compare 2 magazines, 60 to 70% will match, 30% will not match. You will see that I'm losing on something. Like FOMO is there, whether this magazine is good, that's not. My honest advice is, I did 2 things. First, one newspaper, Indian Express, my favorite newspaper. Initially, it was The Hindu, but it was very radical, so I shifted to Indian Express. This gives peace of mind. So, उसके बाद second is any compilation, any A to Z, whichever coaching you want to use, you use. I am not taking any names, but you know, any magazine you follow for if 1 year complete, actually it almost covers all topic. But if you compare 1 month wise, so some topics will be left. But because over the year, all the currents will be somehow repeated and it will be completed. Stick to one source, and you do your research. I sometimes say like Abraham Lincoln ka, there is a quote ki, if 7 day has been given to cut a tree, for 4 day we have to sharpen our axe. Here in this preparation, sharpening axe means doing your research. Suppose you really want to pick one magazine for your current affairs, do research. Take the magazine from 10 coachings, do 1 week research, because once you have done research, you are internally satisfied. Okay, now this will work for me. I am comfortable with language of this and that. So stick to it. Complete it 1 year, 15 months, because sometimes journey may last for 3 years, 4 years, 4 attempts. Stick to one. This is what I did. Like you asked what should be done. So एक अपना monthly compilation this. And one more thing I want to add, like notes. Some people ask whether we should make notes for the current affairs or not. So for prelims, I do not suggest making notes, but for mains and interview, we should make notes. The reason is this, मतलब prelims का demand is very different, very detailed, minute understanding of the current affairs they are asking. Suppose some discovery has happened, what is the core technology they are asking? Like once, I remember one question, like reusable rockets are there. So in reusable rockets, there is one specific technology, the name is given. That name is not generally highlighted in the news. That is a hidden technology. UPSC is testing the core understanding of the technology. Point is, for prelims, it is very difficult to make notes for everything. So many things are there. For prelims, I suggest multiple revisions of whatever you are doing for currents. Just say monthly if you are doing, I suggest just revise it 10 times. This is for prelims. Do not try to make notes, bahut time lagega. And then you will feel self-doubt whether my notes are good or not. एक बार बनाया, you will feel that certain topics I did not write, it is left. So you will not be very comfortable. revise from the original source, or after 5 revisions, your speed will increase. जैसे now you will be able to complete the whole magazine in 20 minutes. It will happen. First reading it will take maybe 2 days. It will take. ऐसे चलता है. So notes में prelims का मत बनाओ because but mains का in mains the demand is issue. There is difference between news and issue. Issues going on in the public domain and news going on public domain. My understanding that news can be anything. Any headline you see in the newspaper is news. But all the news are not issue. Issue means, suppose you read one newspaper article, you see that daily that article is repeating. Let's say one nation, one election debate when it was there, you will see that for 1 month, somebody is writing some article on that topic, right? It means that now has become a national debate. That is important. UPSC will test the core concept, your core understanding related to one nation, one election. That will not come in prelims. So make issue-wise notes for mains, and trust me, if you see past 2 years, there are not more than 100 to 150, like 100 to 150 issues. This is the maximum limit. If you know how to identify 100 to 150 maximum issue, how much is that? Not much. Matlab, if for each issue you make 2 pages notes, A4 sheet, easily manageable. 300 pages notes for all the issues. Use that only for mains. Prelims ki mein that will not work. For prelims, don't make notes. For mains, do. This is my suggestion. Or you can evolve your own method of making the notes for mains, like mains ka current affairs. So this is what I say. And for interview, yahi same mains ka notes will work for your interview. Because in interview also they directly ask question from the issue itself. They will ask that, tell me, like to me, they ask, what is your opinion on one nation, one election? Direct questions. Now, if you have made notes, so there are some rhetorical statements, there are some committee, there are some data. Everything was there, immediately it will come to your mind and you will answer. This is what my suggestion. Next question. Aptitude, मतलब CSAT. हाँ, CSAT is तो बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक. Sorry, I never used it so. CSAT. See, we cannot underestimate the power of CSAT. CSAT, I have one friend from IIT. He was very confident कि भाई we solve integration, calculus in our engineering. हम वो solve कर रहे हैं, क्या बोलते हैं? बहुत कुछ, like अब somebody with that level और थोड़ा सा reasoning का question we are not able to solve. तो out of same he was crying for 1 year, like उससे whenever I meet he like crying कि you know I was from IIT and it happened. It can happen with anybody. अभी उनका nature is like that. They are trying to test your reasoning ability, which after graduation almost vanishes. वो 4 year में our reasoning ability takes a hit. For before, like after 12th and during that time, वो competitive zeal is there. That is lost. So whether you are from any background, IIT, NIT, Tier 1, Tier 2, everybody needs to work. I was fortunately able to clear CSAT in my earlier 3 mains, but only by 1-2 marks cut off. I did not prepare. I thought, but in my 4th attempt, I thought, because 23 ka paper was extremely tough. So GS ka cutoff I was not able to clear. I cleared CSAT ka 2 marks extra tha. So I thought let's not take the risk this time, because the 4th attempt was do or die for me. I had decided that after 4th attempt I will not appear. Matlab enough is enough. I was also getting that mindset. So for CSAT what I did, for 4 months before prelims, I used to give daily 1 hour. Daily 1 hour for 4 months. And I think this time I have got like 140 or something in CSAT. So my approach was कि ठीक है, not only by 1-2 marks. If I have to tell somebody, at least I can tell कि ठीक है, थोड़ा comfortable margin था. And also because of the fear. इतना ज़्यादा, if you see reels, कि GS में 120, CSAT में 60, 66 point ऐसे करके. तो then fear भी आया, and then I started working on it. You can join any source. I did my research. By Abraham Lincoln's thought process. Do your research. Actually, so much material is there. You being a graduate, you must know how to identify what is best for you. So do your research. Today it is much easier. Chat GPT hai, Grok hai. Ask them. Along with sources, they will tell from where they are telling their thought process. Do your own research. I will say for everything, like put 2-3 days of research. ऐसा नहीं कि if you sit today, you start doing research and will finalize by the end of the day that this is the source. No. For CSET also, so many scams are going on. Somebody who did not, I personally know, did not clear CSAT once. He's a teacher in the CSAT. He's teaching very, I don't know how, because he has memorized almost all the PYQ, all the, मतलब set of fixed set of questions. If you ask extra question, चलो बाहर मिलते हैं, like that kind of. He is the teacher. Scam है. Do your research. Know who is the best teacher or what are the best sources. Take 1 week of the time. Ask as many people as possible. Say your mentors are already there in this coaching. Means utilize your sources. You are intelligent in that aspect. Identify, I would say give 1 hour daily. And actually, chalo, mathematics is becoming unpredictable. Level is that. But in comprehension part, there is some hope. Because if you can decipher the language of comprehension, like I said, GS ka, prelims ka, MCQ has a language. Deciphering it will increase your marks. Similar way, CSET ka the comprehension part has a language. Very deep insight is needed. Like I cannot describe everything in my given limited 1.5 hour of time. But there is a pattern. If you do comprehension, like past 10-year comprehension, try to understand it. You will be able to correct maximum of the English comprehension. So cut off your coming near. How many of you are from non-engineering background? Okay, huge. So you must be having this fear कि CSET तो गया, like 2020 comprehension, right? थोड़ा सा you have to give the extra emphasis on comprehension and English का that is manageable. In the like उसमें reasoning and mathematics, थोड़ा reasoning you can give more importance, or for mathematics like permutation, combination and probability, thoda probability is not coming, but P and C is there. Sometimes it becomes difficult because reasoning, high level reasoning is needed. So decide your strength. Arithmetic your strength, language is your strength, comprehension. Decide your strength, but although you will work on your strength, but try to have a general understanding of all the areas, because I think in 2024 there was not a single question on permutation and combination. If I'm not, hey, can you verify? Like it was there. So if somebody totally focuses on that, then prepare, but a general understanding bhi honi chahiye. Next question.
Sir, you gave 4 attempts, right? So that's 5 years.
2020 से 2025, 4.5. हाँ.
How did you keep yourself motivated?
बहुत difficult था. It was very difficult to keep motivated. No, not full-time preparation. Full-time preparation along with this expectation that this year तो कर देंगे.
So you did not have any external pressure?
External pressure, actually I was lucky in this aspect that my family is very supportive, and earlier as I cleared JEE, तो थोड़ा सा वो taunt, all those things, that was not there कि चलो he can do something, not UPSC then state pieces तो निकाल लेगा, like that थोड़ा सा है. तो family environment was supportive, but and also my brother, he started working and he used to support me financially. Like he was so supportive that without even asking anything, for 4 continuous years, he used to send 15,000 on 1st of every month. Not a single question asked. He is younger to me. He's working in the IT sector. So I'm lucky to have such brothers. So I would say if your journey is getting longer, you need a support. Very important. Mental peace is foundation. You cannot do anything without mental peace. ठीक है?
But you also needed like internal.
हाँ, internal motivation. I'm coming to that. So what happened? Like this story is not relevant to you all because you asked. I have to tell. Like my parents, they are actually highly qualified. Both are postgraduates, but due to something happened in the past, they ended up being farmer. They could not do any job. I have seen their struggle throughout their life. But they could have done something, but due to something which I cannot explain, so it acted as a motivation for me seeing my parents struggle. It became an intrinsic motivation, which is more important, along with family support. So I was like, I have to now do it this time if they could not do. But because they are such a highly educated, they used to motivate plus keep me updated. Like my father used to do research on UPSC related things. He would tell, see, you can follow this source, that source. See, involvement of father in this respect. So you can see how supportive environment I got. So my only thing is you need a supportive environment, intrinsic motivation. And one more thing, after my second mains, I also got to know about Vipassana meditation. Many of you may have heard. How many of you know Vipassana meditation? No? Nobody? It is a Buddhist practice. So I got more inclination towards Buddhism. So that Vipassana meditation, I did a proper course, and then daily 1 hour I used to practice Vipassana. तो वो जो calmness है, stress है, थोड़ा बहुत वो manage हुआ. Plus family support तो got me through.
So, we are getting this year, right? So, is there any short-term
कोई there is no shortcut.
like just before how to meditate?
अच्छा, just before prelims, what to do? I would say that do not fret. जैसे एक हिंदी में बोलते हैं आपने घबराना नहीं, एक मीम है ना, आपने घबराना नहीं है, ठीक है, कीप काम. You don't know how long it will take, whether you are ready or not. The problem is we think that we decide when we get selected. It is UPSC will decide when you will get selected. They have their own intelligence working. Don't force. जैसे meditation, you can meditate. Be calm, meditate, try to give your natural best, push your limits slowly. I have a friend, he made target कि आज 18 घंटे पढ़ना है. Started, फिर वो gone. 1 week he didn't read anything. So this is more disastrous. Like so tight schedule I have seen people make. After making the schedule, they will say, now this will be followed from tomorrow. After, like I am making it in this morning, today morning. But I will say, इतना tough है, खुद को डर लग रहा है. कि okay, I will follow this from tomorrow. Once this thought came, you know that it will never be followed. ठीक है, ये मेंटालिटी तो थोड़ा दिखाता है, आउट ऑफ लाइक रिएक्टिव रिस्पॉन्स है, दैट इज बैड. तो मेडिटेट, ट्राई टू रिवाइज प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, बी वेरी काम, स्मूथ, जेंटल, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यू डोंट हैव टू, यू नो, इफ यू टेक टेंशन, एजिंग भी फास्ट हो जाता है थोड़ा. मेरा एट वन पॉइंट पीपल सेड दैट आई एम 30 years old. ऐसा था, अभी सिलेक्शन के बाद थोड़ा ब्राइट होने लगा, थोड़ा सा, यू नो, टेंशन कम हुआ ना. बट डोंट टेक टू मच स्ट्रेस, बहुत हार्मफुल है, बहुत हार्मफुल है. तो ठीक है, नाउ विल एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस ऑन प्रीलिम्स. एक्चुअली I can take one session, like I can explain all what I have understood, but I don't have time. But basic things I will tell ki go for multiple times reading of the, you know, previous year questions paper without worrying about whether you get the right results or not. Solve it in a very neutral way. जैसे देखा, then identify, अच्छा this is wrong, in this the keyword, actually extreme keyword should not be there. Anything which is ultra promising कि हो रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा, ultra promising is generally wrong. Moderate, if you see moderate statements are correct, most of the time moderate statements are correct. Sorry, factual things are incorrect, organization bodies are incorrect, and if you do 4 to 5 times now, you will gain your own insight. There are many, you know, I have a friend, his interview got over like 1 month back. He cleared prelims and also cleared forest cutoff. He got 138 marks because he has developed such an insight. Working on developing insight, you know, your focus should be very fundamental. Do not hurry, do not say that abhi clear kar, nahi. Develop that insight, make it such that any kind of paper UPSC sets you clear. So revision multiple times, see it, discuss. I think one good thing is have a close group of serious aspirants. Not even one among them should be non-serious. This is very important. एक भी एक मछली पूरे, गंदी मछली पूरे तालाब को गंदा कर देती है. तो सुना हो, very careful. I would say even if you have to break, like whether I should say this on camera, break your friendship with a person who is acting negatively in your preparation. leave. Very important, because peace of mind is determined by the people who you are associated with. In fact, there is a quote ki you become average of 5 people you are most associated with. You will become their average. Try to find a right peer group, discuss each prelims question, sit and discuss. You will gain the insight that I am talking about. Okay. Now we will move to prelims, mains. If any more questions.
Can you suggest us like writing the daily, solving the daily prelims questions and writing the daily mains answers? How does it going to affect our preparation?
We can do, actually I suggest integrated preparation, but I also say that before you do that, basic sources at least should be finished. एक basic understanding of your prelims resources, mains ka topic syllabus is given. At least you should have a not very good but average understanding of each topic that is given in the syllabus. At least have the average understanding. Do not aim for perfection. That is very wrong approach. Have average understanding. Now, as you said, take 2-3 questions for prelims. Like somebody is comfortable with that approach, it is nice. Actually, the FOMO nahi hota, that it feels that I am doing both. Take 1 hour, solve 5 prelims question, 1 mains question. For mains, I suggest prepare answers in advance, then come and then write. Don't see at clock. Make yourself comfortable. I have to write a good answer. That should be your target. उसके बाद धीरे धीरे टाइम रिड्यूस होगा, क्वालिटी भी इंप्रूव होगी. You are getting my philosophy कि force नहीं करना है. Very important.
So like you are suggesting just read the topics, whatever you understand, take the mains question based on the topic and write the.
See, first understand the syllabus का, all the topic का content. थोड़ा बहुत content. Maybe many are doing coaching, many are doing self study. That plus PYQ भी एक बार revise करो. जैसे मैंने prelims का PYQ बोला. Like that, I will now discuss mains ka also. There is a pattern. Once you have understood that pattern, now this approach ki taking 5 question prelims, 1 mains daily, that will be more comfortable. Getting my point? So try to adopt that approach, and it may vary person to person. Like that.
So with respect to GS subjects, we have to like about equal weightage to all the subjects.
See, this is very important. In the past 4 years, GS1 and GS3 are giving less marks. If you come see the copies of all the toppers, you will find that GS2, GS4 is performing relatively better. So now many toppers I have friends, they make it priority to give more time to GS2 and GS4 and less time to GS1 and GS3. I am talking about mains. We were coming to mains. So many are giving like 20% time to GS1 and GS3 and more time to GS2, GS, which is more scoring and easier to score. Because that has been a trend. GS3 mein very less marks are coming because demand and all those things are different. So maybe if you do a lot of hard work, 90, 100 tak you can reach. But then again, the proportion of hard work and the marks, you have to always balance. थोड़ा compare करके चलना पड़ेगा. So I would say see the pattern, and also in prelims also some like polity has lot of weightage. 20 questions are there. So based on that you can determine the time that I will give to this. Easily finish polity. For when I started Lakshmikant, it took me total 2 months to read once, like one reading of the polity book. Took 2 months, honestly. I did that. So I would say कि it may take time, but some syllabus topics are, more questions are coming. Do that. Any more questions of prelims? See, try to do daily goals. If you take care of the each day, then month, week, everything will be taken care of. I used to like divide in my slot. Morning I will say that today I have to do this much. Like बहुत ज़्यादा दूर तक you think थोड़ा anxiety होता है, pressure build up होगा. You can say that as Politica I will finish 4 chapters. You know that your strength 4 chapters you can finish. Then you can optional make it these topics I will. Actually, then next day you can again plan. Actually, when you are doing self-study, this is more workable. But when you are associated with the coaching, so unka they have their own schedule. It clashes with your own schedule. It becomes difficult to balance. So in that case, you have, because coachings are like ki theek hai, 40 days mein they will finish polity. You will have approach ki I also have to finish the polity in 40 days. Theek hai. As for GS foundation, I did not take any coaching for like iska ye sab standard books and online note making was the basic thing. So I adopted that approach. Point is कि my suggestion would be in the case of target also, like coaching is target, you should have your own way of doing things. थोड़ा सा छूटेगा. You may, like coaching taking 40 days, you may take 80 days. This much only will happen. Sometimes it may happen that थोड़ा टेस्ट सीरीज में नंबर खराब आ गए. Do not bother. Ultimately you have to cultivate yourself. Understand होना चाहिए, हरी नहीं करना है. I would say छूट रहा है छूटने दो. But try to have अपना daily का goal. Daily morning you can make whole day का pattern, whole day का thing. This would be my advice. Any more questions? Shall we move to mains? ठीक है. ठीक है mains. I will tell my mains का journey. In my first mains I got in GS paper I got around 360. In second mains I got around I think 370, near around 370. But in my this fourth attempt I got 422. So I must have done something different. My objective is only to teach you how to improve the marks and what I did different, because rest you know, right? So actually in this attempt the major reason is that 298 optional where I got. So what happened? My overall score went to 830 mains ka. So it is like only 13 marks less than rank 1. Her score is I think 843, like that. So I did something different that I am sure that it worked. That is only I think I am going to teach you for mains. So 2-3 things one should keep in mind. First thing is, see, syllabus. Remember the syllabus. Each word. Sit, remember the syllabus and know all the words that are written in the syllabus. You know, you should be very well aware. Breakdown. There are many websites, if you see, they have published detailed breakdown of the syllabus also. If you go to Drishtika, hai na, they have breakdown also various topics. So in this way you can understand the syllabus ka topic. That is the first step. Second step is notes. All the words that are mentioned in your syllabus, you should have notes. 500 word notes on each topic. Getting my point? If it is saying, I am saying that whatever topics that are mentioned in the syllabus, in all the GS papers, try to have a notes of 500 words for each topic. I am not saying in like detailed breakdown is given in Drishti. You cannot make notes for all the breakdown, like they have detailed breakdown. You cannot make notes for all of them. But major points that are written in syllabus, try to have your own well researched notes on those topics. And today ChatGPT is there. If you enter topic and say that give me good introduction, give me good conclusion, give me data, committee, Supreme Court judgment, ये खुद ही notes बना के it will give you. Very easy to create notes these days. ठीक है, research and also you can ask, tell me the sources as well. It will give you link of sources and you can verify. Sometimes earlier what used to happen, ChatGPT used to generate its own story. You cannot find that data anywhere. Currently you can ask, give me the source. It will give the link. You go and verify. Very important. Wrong notes नहीं बनाना है. This is also part of research. So make your own notes on each topic. Very helpful. It will help you in entire journey. अभी मेंस में, in interview में भी also quickly you can go through those points. So second is notes. Third is कि this is the notes for syllabus. But one more notes you have to make. There in previous year questions, there are many themes which are repeated. Sometimes they are not given in the syllabus. Some PYQ themes are not given in the syllabus directly, right? So, un themes ko you have to identify. Getting my point? Try to have notes on them also, like 200 words, 300 words ka notes you can have. This is 3 points, and now in this included previous year question analysis. Like for prelims, PYQ is the most important thing. For mains also PYQ is most important. When I say PYQ means, again you have to understand the pattern. What are the areas that are in more demand? Understand the pattern of previous year question. Like through previous year question you will know that in current affairs what is more relevant. Like I said, issues are more relevant than news. You will know through PYQ. These days GS2, GS3 is totally current. If you see properly, all the topics are somehow linked to the issues in the news. They are giving total current GS2 and GS3. So if you have very strong command over current, so GS2 or GS3, it will help a lot. In PYQ, try to know that what they are trying to test through analysis, through the questions, what they are trying to test, core knowledge they are trying to test. ठीक है? So PYQ analysis is very important. Now comes the fourth part is the answer writing. ठीक है? In answer writing, this was the factor why I used to get only 370 marks, because I did not focus on the answer writing approach. These three I did initially. This part was missing. So when I worked on this, then I think my marks got improved by 60 marks. For 360 se 422. And also answer writing I used in the anthropology extensively. Whatever structuring I got the knowledge from GS, I also implemented it in anthro. So marks improved a lot. Now this is very important for the fact that I saw one chairman of UPSC. He was giving one interview on YouTube. One person asked that what do you check in the mains answer writing? What is your basic thing? He said that UPSC is the exam of discipline. Your answers should show discipline. Now, what is the meaning of discipline? Discipline means answer writing a structure and what actually you are putting there. How you are saying. You are a bureaucrat, you are going to become bureaucrat. There is a certain way of presenting yourself. There is a certain way of writing about any topic. It should show that you think multidimensionally. It should not show that narrow thought is there. It should not show. That discipline should be there. If you can implement, I will talk about the discipline now, what actually it means. But UPSC answer writing exam of discipline. Now I will specifically focus on this because these three you will be able to do properly. थोड़ा इस पे हम बात करते हैं. Suppose this is the page. Go. First I will discuss about 10 markers, then 3 pages, 15 markers. ठीक है? See, this is question. Earlier what I did in my earlier 2 mains, कि they asked something as a random introduction लिख दिया, what came to my mind at that time, ऐसे लिख, I did not prepare very good introduction, ऐसे लिख दिया. Then whatever question का demand है, I will give one heading, but I used to ignore the keywords that are given. Like we have to use the keywords as a heading, so they will be sure that you are answering the demand of the question. If you make your own heading, something very new, they have asked something, you make your own heading. The problem is some examiner may feel that you have written something different. Try to extract the, like suppose problem of urbanization, asking that what are the recent challenges in the urbanization and what is the problem with fast paced development of the cities. As some question is there. So you have to give heading की recent problems of the urbanization. मतलब words उठा के put. This is one thing. Earlier when I used to give heading, उसके बाद I used to do this arrow. ऐसे करके will write something. This was my earlier approach. And ऐसे करके पूरा page I used to fill. So like that I used to fill the page and then a random conclusion. This was my earlier approach. I have got the knowledge over the year that what should be the approach is that this is very wrong approach, this arrow approach. It doesn't show discipline, it shows that you are randomly throwing the points. Now for urbanization something is coming to your mind, you just arrow throwing points. It doesn't look good. It will only fetch like 2 marks, 3 marks for 10. You won't get more than that. So currently in my 4th attempt, what I did, like a very good intro that I prepared from my notes. I prepared very good intro using ChatGPT. I used this year. I asked very good quotes. Sometimes I use quotes, data, Supreme Court judgment, articles, or anything which is like very substantial. Or if any topic is asked, then what are the current relevance? They say if something related to that is happening in current, you can put that recently something similar was seen happening. So now examiner will know that you are aware कि ठीक है, you know what you are going to write. So good introduction is very important. Now coming to the, generally in 10 marker there are 2 parts of the question. Generally in 15 marker 3 parts of the question. So give one heading, first heading, very good heading and proper make box and all those things. It should look good. उसके बाद give point 1. It should not be arrow and write a proper subheading. Subheading means suppose I have written problems of urbanization as a main heading. Then in subheading, suppose 1 point you want to write that slum developments, slum develop karte na. Sometimes what you do without giving any subheading, you will simply write that one negative impact is that slum will get developed, all those things. So you don't have to do much for subheading, just write the slum. This much dot. Okay. This word, what it strikes, examiner will know that now you have written something. Actually, he has made his mind here itself. Seeing your subheading, he knows that you know that there is one problem, some related problem. He may not read further. Try to give subheadings. Very important. I implemented it in my all answers. Slum. उसके बाद एक example. Suppose you have given one subheading. You have written something very crisp, very concise. Do not try to overstretch it. Try to complete like 10 to 15 words में अपनी बात बोल दो. Then try to give one example. If you know any slum which is in very poor condition, there are enough examples. ठीक है? Give one example of slum that happened. फिर second पे आओ, properly give number. Again subheading, some points, फिर examples. Now, is this better or that arrow approach is better? This shows discipline. That you are well aware, your thought process is very structured. You know how to, you know various examples. Actually, example is very important. It gives credibility to each point that you are writing. Your answer should be credible. Credibility gives you marks. Makes first impression, like very good impression. So do this and then generally write 5 points, 4 to 5 points, both hai. If you can write 4 to 5 points with good subheading and examples, that satisfies the examiner as per my understanding. Sometimes many say that in 10 marker you have to write like 15 points. Some say in 15 marker write 20 points. I don't agree with this. I say write 4 points but very proper. Suppose you know only 4 points, very proper, you have good examples, data. Sometimes you can slum, थोड़ा data डाल के एक example डाल दो. If for second point like water related issues are there, there are many cities where problem का water का problem है. That in example or something related to content. मतलब you have to have that, you know, credibility. I'm emphasizing on that. Each point random नहीं होना चाहिए. Economic survey quote कर दो. That as per economic survey like that. ठीक है? तो 4 points written well. As per my understanding, you may disagree, is well enough. Then come to second heading. Generally 2 parts in 10 marker. Second heading maybe फिर you also give subheading 1, 2, 3, 4 and then very good conclusion. Because he has to give marks here only. After he has read this, your final line, here he is going to give the marks. बहुत आसान है. ChatGPT will give you such a nice conclusion and introduction you would have never thought. इतना अच्छा, try to, you know, somebody, some great scholar who has worked on urbanization, ask it that give me one quote from that person. Somebody has worked. उसका बढ़िया quote लिख के quote that person. See how good impact it will create. My point is try to include these things in your answer. This I did in this attempt. That is why I got 420. And Anthro में भी I did similar. ठीक है? This approach works for 3 pages also. Generally 3 parts are there. In now in 15 markers, I would say that now include more diagrams because you have to fill 3 pages. In 10 markers, sometimes diagram is difficult, although many make it as per your wish. I did not make diagrams in 10 markers as I wrote in point wise because in 10 markers, suppose if you make diagram here, then pages gone. How will you write the language part and all those things? So I was not very comfortable with making diagram. But in 15 markers, I generally used to make my diagram on second page. So that here once he got interest, here also he should be interested. Here also in conclusion he should be interested. Engage the examiner. Try to give at right places all those things. These things actually work. Earlier my approach was no, this will not work because they are ultimately testing the knowledge on all these things. But actually these things matter. As a bureaucrat, your presentation matters a lot. Discipline should be visible in your answer. So my honest advice is work on this. और इनफ टूल्स हैं अपने पास, इनफ टूल्स हैं. इफ यू एक्सप्लोर यू विल गेट इट. This is about answer writing. Any doubt about answer writing? No, essay you cannot do. Essay is different approach. Like you are saying heading, subheading for essay. No, very difficult because essay checks different kind of aptitude. It is trying to check how well you can articulate your points. Here क्या था? I told you in 10 words try to finish very concise way. Try to give your points. Essay में it is a test of language. How well you can say, how rhetorical you can say your words. Like a paragraph you write, if I read as a examiner, I should feel very good after reading that. Wow, what a nice paragraph has been written. It is an exam of language, so I would not suggest. Any more question?
Sir, of the GS papers, that you had, what was your strong
Strong score.
like which one was your strongest?
See, the thing is, this time I thought that in GS4 I will score 140 because I worked very hard for GS4. खूब सारा काम किया, खूब notes बनाया, but I scored okay reasonably well, 113 my marks in ethics. But I had this misconception that my ethics is very good. I will get 140. Generally my GS2 and GS4 I used to score more. GS3 generally weak because nobody is getting marks, so I have satisfied with myself that it is not my fault. So they are doing something wrong, I am doing right. तो ये हो गया अपना. Any more questions? Sorry. हाँ? अभी आते हैं ऑप्शनल पे. We'll come to optional. This is mains related questions. हाँ, very good question. Yeah, I got your question. वो words लिखे होते ना. हाँ, good question. See, the only keyword which matters a lot is critically examined. When you see the word critically, others have more or less similar approach. When you say word critically, it means it wants you to give both perspective. Critical. A good citizen should be critical about government policies. Say bhakt, सुना होगा अंध भक्त. No, sometimes words are used for some particular political party. So what happens? Their critical analysis is not there. You are not criticizing. A reasonable criticism. I'm not saying outright criticism. Critical means you have to show both sides of the equation. ठीक है? They say critically examine one nation, one election. Suppose this is the question. Now critically analyze means you have to give positive, like in favor of it. I say like if you are a beginner, you can write in favor of one nation, one election. 5 points you have written. Now against one nation, one election. Then suggestions. Give one heading, proper heading. Suggestions. Point 1 subheading, point 2 subheading, point 3 subheading. Good suggestions. Huge committee. The Sarkaria Commission said this. Ramnath Kovind panel said this. Give like that. मतलब critical analysis में not only you have to critically analyze but also show a way forward. That see, this is my vision also. As a bureaucrat, as a discipline, I would include it in discipline. That it is a vision that okay, this can be solved through this. Not much. If you don't have much, like 2 suggestions, very good suggestions. Like when I read, I feel good. Actually, feel good factor is very important. You have to make the examiner feel good. समझ? तो ये चीज़ है. तो critically में other words like elucidate, like examine, they are actually open. You can adopt any approach as per my understanding. Like examine is there and a statement is there. You can examine in any way. Like you may break the statement into multiple components. One component you examine, or you can have different approach. Like in examine also you can give critical points, no problem. There you are free. But if question is asked about critically examine and you are not giving both sides, that is blunder. If it's saying critically examine, you are giving only one. That is wrong. This is what my understanding is. I only cared about this word. Others, I followed natural approach. जो आ रहा है, try to give a nice structuring. अपनी बात को रखने का, there is a way. If we focus on that, it will work. Any more questions?
Give your opinion on any question.
हाँ.
Give your opinion.
हाँ.
Is it necessary that we should go against our honest opinion sometimes?
See, the thing is, give your opinion में क्या है? You can give your opinion whatever is there, but 1 or 2 points, because everything has some negative. ठीक है? तो I would suggest personally that 1 or 2 points, like majority of the opinion you keep yours. So the examiner feels that you are not biased, you are open to various ideas. That discipline should show. Any more questions?
It's very difficult to complete the paper within 3 hours.
Difficult,
How
very
did
difficult.
you come out of that?
Very good question.
And did you follow any strategies to complete the paper?
I will tell. See, initially, I was not even able to complete 10 questions in 3 hours. मेरा ये था कि I will बहुत जोश में I will do 20 नहीं हो. So I adopted this approach. I would read all the questions answers in advance. I cheated with myself. So I will read all the answers, prepare in advance, come and then write. मतलब जब शुरू में you are in fear. So I used to do this, not at all concerned about time. I never used to see clocks. शुरू में I used to take 5 hours, 6 hours to complete my one paper, and I try to do, because beforehand I used to read all the model answers. So it used to work for me. But this also gave me confidence that actually initially the confusion is itself that whether I will be able to write anything or not. Like sometimes initially when you are beginner, the confusion is very basic. So first I try to counter that confusion itself. कि ठीक है, if I prepare then I at least have the ability to complete the paper. In how much time it takes, it doesn't matter. Slowly, then once you write these like 2-3 times you do this, you imbibe a mental model. कि ठीक है, now speed will improve because mental model is there. थोड़ा एक journey, what you have to do in answer, there is something in your mind. Slowly your muscle memory will develop. What happens in graduation, we don't do anything, so this is jammed. ये वर्क नहीं करता, इसे लिखना है, this is not. You have to write 10 papers, तो ये थोड़ा open होगा. Muscle memory will build, speed will improve. Only thing is practice. Like I did 6 to 8 months of consistent mains answer writing practice, because of which I would say last paper that I wrote, I was able to complete like 60 seconds before. Complete 60 seconds before.
What's that procedure? Like before you studied the question and you prepared, and after that you put it in the paper few days, and after that you closed the book and you started writing the answers. Actually, did you follow this one or like
Initially this I did. I prepare in advance, then write. Slowly, when I gained more command over the notes that I had made, because revision plays a very important role. See, I had to read in advance because बहुत सारी चीज़ I am not able to remember. But suppose if I can remember, if I have revised 10 times, so that becomes very effortless. Points will come automatically. Getting my point? So revision plays a great role in increasing the speed, reducing the time. You revise it multiple times, 10 times. Your notes, like I said, make notes of all the syllabus topics. उसका notes बनाओ, PYQ का model answer 5 बार 6 बार पढ़ो. If you do this, actually one day will come, I will tell like after 6 months what happened. Like you give any random question to ChatGPT, it generates 10 random points, right? Over the time you will become generative AI. Random points you will be able to generate because you have written so much. Our mind, like neural networks are there, machine learning का concept है. Neural network, what it does? Generates based on associated learning. You have given it some data, it will make its own meaning, and finally it will generate something new. Good thing we generate. Like we humans, I personally believe we are better than AI. ठीक है, वो थोड़ा they have more speed because of chips and all those things. We don't have chips, but Elon Musk Neuralink we are creating, right? One day we will beat AI also, I believe. You may disagree. So,
I have one more doubt. Like in using an examination, we'll be knowing a question very thoroughly. We'll be wasting time on that question only. Like we'll be writing everything like whole paper. We will know it very well. So how to stop that? Like only we should write 2 to 3 points for each.
I got it. Actually, at one time, sometimes we are emotionally invested in any topic. Like I have prepared this very good, so I will write the best possible answer for this question. This is very wrong approach. Set time, 7 minutes for each question, whether you know it in a very good way, whether you know it in a very bad way. This was my personal strategy कि अपना 7 minutes time fix है, एक clock exam में allowed है. In 7 minutes, whatever I could write, leave there. वहाँ तक leave there. Move to other topics. Because if you complete the paper, there is a high chance कि your marks will improve. Suppose you have only written 18 questions, 2 questions are left. So you will see 1 or 2 marks less ही आएगा, even if you have written very good quality. And also, for 6 to 8 months, if you do answer writing practice, I can guarantee that your quality will be also decent. If you have done 6 to 8 month practice, revised notes properly, ChatGPT का help लिया, your quality will be decent. And in the topics which you know, you will really write very good. This is for sure, but practice needed, na? This, like we go to gym, we train our muscle. Slowly that muscle becomes very strong, we can lift weight very easily. Similar approach is here. You have to build your muscle memory, your neural networks, that connection should be there. I think there is a concept ki activity which we repeat multiple times, uska neurons get created. Like neural path get created, things will become effortless. Jैसे badminton खेल रहा है, you will practice that badminton, same sort. It will become so effortless कि naturally happens. So RA subtle, you will do it. Internal. So I think similar approach is here. Practice is the key.
Like how much are you prepared? But in examination, one question will be there, sure for you don't know anything about.
I leave that for last. Like 19 question I know for sure. The first 19 done. Still 7 minutes will be there for that question. If it is 15 marker, then 9 minutes. Like that. It is there. Usme I will create a story. जैसे ChatGPT generative AI है, because you have that ability. That random question is there, you can also generate random points. Beating around the bush. Association learning. Any topic is given, identify 4 or 5 linked topic to that topic. Uspe make heading, subheading, write something. Because, see, if you have written 19 questions, you also feel confident by the end. Ki I have written decently. Now in the 20th question, whichever order it is, like first question हो जाता है, थोड़ा सा negative impact पड़ता है. Because if it is first question, I have written a story like anything, so it may create negative in the examiner's mind. So first question, I would say, जैसे मान लो you don't know, so instead of filling 2 pages, just fill 1 pages, but give good points. Some good points, like if you are beating around the bush, some good points. But if you write bakwas in both the questions, next question ka marks will come drastically. It matters very much. But if your question which you don't know is in middle, तो लिख सकते हो. You can write like some points, associated learning. These abilities will only come when you have practiced for 6 to 8 months. Because this is what we learn in answer writing. Unexpected questions आ गया. How to handle that. That can only happen when you have practice. Right? Or one more thing, like somebody asked how to bring multidimensionality in the answer. How to think that there are various points. Syllabus ka topics. Each syllabus topics can become one heading in itself. You see society का paper, various topics, वही heading बना दो. Like any, suppose urbanization का problem पूछा, you can also write problems marginalized section face in the urbanization. अब marginalized section एक अपना syllabus का point है. This itself becomes one subheading. Point is, if you remember the syllabus properly, I told you in the beginning, go and mug up the syllabus. Each word can become one subheading itself. So you will never run out of point. ये practice है, it will take time, have patience, this will work. Any more questions?
How do you conclude an answer?
अच्छा, conclusion. I made my own ready-made, in most of the cases, ready-made conclusion for the topics, like syllabus topics है, I had ready-made conclusion. But what happens, sometimes you have to integrate that ready-made conclusion with the demand of the question. जैसे I may have prepared a general conclusion for any topic, right? A question is from the same topic but specific. So just use the keywords of that specific question का keywords है, integrate it with your pre-prepared answer. This is one approach. Second is, sometimes you have to think new because question is very new. Sometimes question is such that नहीं मिल रहा, you don't have that in your collection. So in that case, try to summarize. मेरी standard approach की, like you have written problems, we have written solutions. You can say that given the problems and challenges, if we follow the recommendation of some committee, then if we adopt such measures on a war footing basis, like on war footing basis, we should implement so and so things. ऐसे करके you can conclude. ठीक है? Sometimes conclusion can be type of suggestion. 2 line of suggestion you can give. ठीक है? If it is explicitly not ask the suggestions, you can 2 lines suggest. मतलब conclusion, if you are ready-made, that's very good. Not, then there only have to think. Or these all abilities will come if you practice daily. Write one question, 6 to 8 months of practice, you are good to go. Other universities, I am not doubting anybody's talent. I am saying that confidence that comes. what happens? Those who have longer capacity to sit for longer times, like 10 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, probability is that if you are from such a high good institutes, your capacity to sit for that many hours is high. So point is, when somebody is following that approach, what happens? The chances of clearing will also increase. Because see, there are inherent qualities. Somebody has reached that institute means they may be having some certain aptitudes which are unique to them. Because once they have done something, some aptitude is there. I'm not saying that it cannot be found in other, but probability is more in that. So it helps in that way, I guess. But it is also truth that you see every year result from every place, from every university, from every background, you will find results. So it is like kind of myth, I would say, but statistically speaking, as you said, top rankers are from such colleges. So थोड़ा सा discourage करता है. But to encourage yourself, see the examples. कि बहुत सारे ऐसे examples, like Sefford, अभी एक कर्नाटक का, there is a boy Sefford, cleared, right? और today education is democratized. Online access to everything. You are sitting in the village, you have online access at very cheap cost. Or should I say this, in Telegram 500 में 1.5 lakh का course you getting 500. Pirated everything is there, right? I don't know whether somebody will, right? It is there, na? Itna democratization when this happened this time, but it is illegal. I do not suggest. Camera is working, right? I do not suggest taking any illegal way of adopting any course. Please do not follow it. But some people are doing, and I would say that it has made accessible education more accessible. तो है मतलब, and best content is accessible to each and every aspirant. Many have started from zero, but they have made miracles. Junaid Ahmed ka example, you know, what was his 55%, 60%? So he could do it. Examples are there, so no need to think in that direction.
So you were talking about confidence, right? So where does that confidence come from? In the interviews or in the initial stages as well?
देखो, confidence you need daily. ऐसा नहीं you need confidence only in prelims में. Daily you have to survive also. This is a long journey. Daily if you have some, like sometimes if you have done in past, if you have done something, you can tell yourself that see, once I did, so this time also I can do. Internal motivation ka it acts like that. But I would say it is irrelevant in the context that everybody is doing from every background. So I should not make any comment like that on any particular thing.
So how does language impact throughout the preparation and the essays?
Achha, language means command over English, command over Hindi. I will honestly tell you, I used to make spelling mistakes in my first mains. Like double E likhna hai, single E likhna hai, I used to get confused. It's genuine spelling mistakes. My English was not good initially. I had to work a lot. I used to make dictionary, like newspaper padhta tha. I had my own diary. I used to write keywords from newspaper, meaning prepare karna, Google karna, not able to understand what is the meaning of these words. This challenge is very normal. This is very common thing. Nothing like something very wrong is happening with you, nothing. It is an opportunity to learn more. So initially I used to make a lot of spelling mistakes. Like many mentors who initially checked my copies, he said that you don't work on anything, first work on spelling. Like don't focus on structure also. Pehle spelling sahi karo. So that is how from there spelling mistakes to I could improve till this stage. This is because मैं बहुत consistent था. For newspaper I have this thick notes where I have written the words, their meaning, Google करके, like वो traditional approach नहीं था, pen से लिखो पूरा. इतना I used to think that suppose in interview they ask it difficult, like in normal language if there one word I am not able to understand, should I say sir meaning बता दो इसका? Like कितना insult feel होगा. So because of that thing, I made sure that I try to increase my vocab. Although the grammar ka, I read grammar book also, because thoda translation में थोड़ा सा helping verb and all those things. I used to make mistakes. Genuinely I used to make mistakes. मैं grammar का book भी लाया, उसको भी पढ़ा, अपना newspaper से words and all those things. Do all the see. The beautiful thing about this journey is that UPSC itself gives you 6 attempts, because UPSC knows that you can come from any background. A person who has come from very rural, humble background, like Hindi medium UP board, if somebody is there, Hindi medium 12th till 12th, definitely if that person is willing to write in English, उसको ज़्यादा effort लगेगा. I sometimes personally feel UPSC is given 6 attempts so that you can explore yourself in any way. You can improve yourself, like 6-year time or 5-year time if you are giving, you can improve yourself in any way. That is the beauty of this examination. नहीं तो वो 2 attempts में ख़त्म कर देते, right? So linear ऐसे curve है अपना. You can slowly improve. और HR based questions. बताओ और बताओ.
So why IIT to UPSC?
अच्छा, IIT to Civil Services.
Yeah.
हाँ, देखो ऑनेस्टली बताऊँ, ये किसी को नहीं बताया, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में पैकेज नहीं मिलता. माई ऑप्शनल सिविल इंजीनियरिंग स्टिल इन माई विलेज एवरीबडी नोज कि 1 करोड़ का तो लगेगा. सिविल इंजीनियरिंग से द पैकेज इज हार्डली अराउंड 10 लाख एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स, लाइक उससे भी कम होता है. बीइंग फ्रॉम एनी कॉलेज, IIT and IT doesn't matter. This was one of the reasons, but the thing is कि but not the sole reason. देखो क्या है ना, initially I saw that in placements not much is being offered. तो थोड़ा सा डिस्करेजमेंट हुआ बिकॉज एक सोचा था कि करोड़ का पैकेज तो लगता है, अपना यही आइडिया था क्योंकि हमने सिर्फ कंप्यूटर साइंस वालों के पैकेज देखे हैं, वो न्यूज़पेपर में ओनली दैट इज़ गेटिंग पब्लिसाइज्ड. दैट इज़ द बिग प्रॉब्लम. तो वो काउंसलिंग के टाइम पे वी डोंट नो, होल इन्फॉर्मेशन इज नॉट देयर. सो द थिंग इज दिस वॉज वन रीजन बट नॉट द सोल रीजन. द सोल इंट्रिंसिक रीजन इज दैट इन माई कॉलेज I was very active in national NSS. I think you all have NSS, right? Like NSS activity used to happen. Next day also I used to give extra. Like nobody is going. I individually used to go to that school to teach. मतलब actually my plan B was also teaching. मतलब I was comfortable. I'm very comfortable with teaching. I have also taught 3-month crash course to some IIT aspirants. So I was comfortable. So in my college, through NSS activities, cleanliness drives are there. Blood donation camps are there, and these education delivery, all those things. I used to enjoy it, really enjoy it, and I thought that if I had to choose to do something for life, I could do it. No problem, I can easily manage. It used to give me happiness, motivation. Let's say पढ़ाने गए, if I'm able to convey my thoughts, if that person is able to understand something, it really filled me with joy. So I realized कि यार ठीक है. मनी आई डोंट नो व्हाट विल बी, मनी वाज नॉट द कंसर्न. तो मैंने कहा जो भी है करेंगे बिकॉज इंजॉय हो रहा है. इंजॉयमेंट वाज द थिंग. एंड देन जर्नी स्टार्टेड. इन माई 4th ईयर आई डिसाइडेड कि आई विल गिव माई 100% टू सिविल सर्विसेज. और इन इंडिया लाइक दे से दैट इन यूपी बिहार, लाइक इफ यू आर फ्रॉम यूपी एंड बिहार यू शुड वंस प्रिपेयर फॉर सिविल सर्विसेज. एक बार तो करना है, ठीक है. मतलब थोड़ा ये गंदा भी जाता है, मैं आई कैन नॉट टेल, बट दीज आर रेटोरिक्स. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट आई मेड माई डिसीजन बेस्ड ऑन रेटोरिक्स, बट क्या होता है ना, इन ए कल्चर दैट यू आर ग्रोन, यू हैव बीन रेज्ड इन ए पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ कल्चर. नदर्न इंडिया फ्यूडलिस्टिक सोसाइटी था, पावर का काफ़ी गैप था बिटवीन रूलर एंड दोज हु आर बीइंग रूल्ड. पावर का काफ़ी डिफरेंस है. तो नदर्न इंडिया में एक पावर का जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि हाउ इम्पॉर्टेंट दिस इज, थोड़ा सा ना एक कल्चर में, जिस कल्चर में आप ग्रो करते हो, इट सेव्स योर थॉट्स, इट सेव्स योर पर्सनालिटी. तो सो मेनी फैक्टर्स कंबाइंड. तो आई डिसाइडेड कि आई विल गो फॉर द सिविल सर्विसेज. अभी बैटरी नहीं थी ना इसमें, चल रहा है. चलो कोई नहीं, लाइट. तो ठीक है. नाउ वी विल मूव टू optional, right? Any more questions related to GS?
Sir, qualifying papers, language, what was your approach and how much time did you do?
Language paper, I would say ना, take 5-year language paper, जैसे इंग्लिश का, हिंदी का. Like हिंदी, mine was, yours must be Kannada, right? Yes. Kannada language. Try to practice it. Try to, like there are model answers if available. At least for Hindi, I remember it was available. I don't know if somebody is compiled in Kannada or not. But try to look at model answers. अभी तो चैट जीपीटी है, तो यू इंटर, वो देगा. वेरी गुड. प्रेसिक्स 1/3 बोलते हैं, इंटर इट, इट विल गिव 1/3 ऑफ द कंटेंट. सो यूज चैट जीपीटी, डू मोर प्रैक्टिस. वंस you sit with 1-2 papers, set the time, and you will know that whether you are able to complete, whether you are comfortable with all the topics. Important thing is, at least you should know in language paper. Many people don't even see that what will they directly see in the examination hall कि this was the syllabus or many times they are not able to clear. At least be aware about all the things that are being asked. Practice 1-2 questions. Take the help of chat GPT. I don't think it will be a major issue, because if you read Kannada for your whole life, at least 33%, right? At least 33% is expected. Otherwise, my sincere advice, leave the preparation. ठीक है. अच्छा, ऑनलाइन क्वेश्चंस हैं चैट्स में. व्हाट, अच्छा नहीं, रिटर्न आल्सो. व्हाट वाज योर मेन स्ट्रेटजी इन द लास्ट फ्यू डेज नियरिंग द प्रीलिम्स? वो हमने we discussed, already discussed. अच्छा, somebody was speaking. So if that person is watching, I would say again speak. This is how I should ask, right? Please speak. Yes.
Could you just tell me that what is the pattern for essay writing, sir?
Yes, definitely. After GS, I am moving towards essay, then towards optional. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Any more questions in the GS answer writing? Because see, major things these you have to do, and you will explore through the journey. Like abhi one day mein you won't reach any conclusion. Give it time, you will do. ठीक है. We will move towards essay, especially philosophical essay. They say that more challenging. How to write philosophical essay? ठीक है.
Any extra book you referred particularly
For mains.
more subject?
See, mains, I would say apna notes is most important. Other than that, all the like prelims related books, standard books that I said, unme bhi you will selectively find mains ka content. Right? Some topics are mains oriented. Take the help of that book, use the content. Other than that, like current affairs ka jo magazine hai, in that lot of mains content is given. If you see, generally, if you see Vision magazine, एक summary देते हैं वो. After every article, you will see there is a one box. They will write like introduction, data, committee, positives, negatives. They try to give a mains perspective also, specifically. Copy that into your notes. So like this you can do. Okay, shall we move to essay? देखो essay में ना two types of questions, two types of essays are there. One is normal essay, another is philosophical essay. Normal essay में what is there is that GS related topics are there. Education पे पूछ लिया, और पूछ लिया अपने health पे पूछ लिया. Last year education पे there was one essay, right? But it was fortunate that they gave education. So generally they don't give education related. At least in 2024 it was not expected, given 2023 का essay paper. Like both sections were philosophical. But it may come. You have to prepare. So one is like GS, थोड़ा GS topics are type का essay हो, and second is your philosophical. ठीक है. Both actually require slightly different approach. For GS topic, see, if you, what my understanding related to essay is that you should have ability to analyze any topic in a widest possible dimensions and articulate in it and present it in your copy. If you can analyze any topic in multiple way, let's say education पे something has been asked, can you look at education from n number of ways? Give n number of examples, form your arguments, give some famous case study that suppose schools in Kerala or Tamil Nadu are working extraordinary. You can prepare case studies. What happened? You can prepare case studies. You can code them as in your example. This is my personal understanding that they are looking for how widely you can analyze the topic and how well you can articulate your points, how well you can present. Like discipline answer writing बोला, इसमें in this also discipline is there. Means there should be a flow. Point should not be random. If you are articulating one type of articulation, then second totally different type of articulation. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. जैसे first I will discuss GS, then we will go to philosophical essay. जैसे give one example we will solve. Like 2024 में can you anybody open the essay paper? We will solve any GS related topic. थोड़ा सा टच रहेगा. ये मिल गया. चलो ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. 2023 तो बोथ वो था ना, फिलोसफिकल। हाँ कुछ बता दो, एक बता दो। हाँ 24 का ना, आई हैव दैट पेपर। ये द एम्पायर्स ऑफ द फ्यूचर विल बी एम्पायर्स ऑफ द माइंड। ये फिलोसॉफिकल है। फर्स्ट थोड़ा सा हम वो करते हैं जीएस का, जैसे सेकेंड वाले पार्ट में कम टू जैसे सोशल मीडिया है, जीएस का थोड़ा सा टच है। बहुत टफ है ये, इसको छोड़ दो। the first strategy is not to fall in the trap. भाई we don't know everything we don't know ना। अब out of 4 UPSC also knows that कोई फॉरेस्ट का बहुत डीप अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगा, दे कैन डू, बट यू हैव टू चूज द टॉपिक वेरी केयरफुली, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इट एक्चुअली डिटरमाइंस योर मार्क्स, हाउ यू आर चूजिंग, हाउ यू आर आर्टिकुलेटिंग, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। जैसे इन द लेट्स से सेक्शन बी थोड़ा जीएस का, लाइक सोशल मीडिया इज ट्रिगरिंग फियर ऑफ मिसिंग आउट amongst the youth, precipitating depression and loneliness. Very good topic. Good topic because I know answers. थोड़ा सा सोशल मीडिया, ये अपना फोमो की बात कर रहा है। आई एम ओनली एनालाइजिंग कीवर्ड्स। सोशल मीडिया है, फियर ऑफ मिसिंग आउट एमंग द यूथ, कीवर्ड इज यूथ। देन वी हैव डिप्रेशन एंड लोनलीनेस। Like these are the words I would say. Social media, youth is also GS topic. थोड़ा सा ये mental health related challenges are there. This is the topic. Now if I have to write the introduction, first we have to write introduction, then there are body part, then is a conclusion. This is a standard approach in both philosophical or GS. So if I have to say, actually I had one thing common in both essay, that I always used to start my essay with a story, a anecdote, any anecdote. मतलब either you create one story or you know any real story. जैसे सोशल मीडिया के केस में you can have one story like it is saying that youth and depression. ठीक है, you can create examples like हाँ very good example that suppose there is a you can give sensitize that topic. थोड़ा सा इमोशन के साथ प्ले करो, एग्जामिनर के इमोशन। यू कैन से दैट देयर इज ए वुमेन, ठीक है, स्टोरी में उसको साइबर हरासमेंट हो रहा है, ऑनलाइन हरासमेंट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। यू कैन बिल्ड दैट स्टोरी, अभी दैट विल लीड टू डिप्रेशन, लोनलीनेस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, ठीक है। तो यू कैन स्टार्ट बाय बिल्डिंग ए स्टोरी, यू कैन चूज वन कैरेक्टर। I got this knowledge from Anudeep Dursetti sir, you all know him. He has written one book, Fundamentals of Essay, very finely written book. I would recommend that if you are looking for essay everything at one place, refer to his book. He has not paid me anything to do this promotion, but still I found that book very good. You can please go through once. तो basic approach is एक anecdote होगा अपना इंट्रोडक्शन में, लाइक ट्राई टू गिव अप टिल दिस, फाइन छोटा सा स्टोरी, ट्राई टू गिव ए स्मॉल स्टोरी like approach, and when you conclude any topic try to connect your conclusion with the story that you started. It feels like a cycle gets completed. Suppose you started with the story of any girl, you have written name ki she has to go through such and such, all those things. End mein you can say that let us implement all the measures that we have discussed above at war footing basis, so that that girl, name of that girl, should not have to face such things again, and any other girl should not face that. When you say that, it completes the cycle. So examiner also feels good. Like generally if you listen to this, it feels good. कि ठीक है, we are completing the cycle. Try to, whether it is GS, whether it is philosophical, very good approach. If you know the real incident, very good. Like some incident in news, widely in news, quote that, very good. Otherwise create a story. Both for GS and for philosophical, both story and ending. Now coming to GS topic specifically, suppose you have written anecdote. Now a standard approach is ask questions. A topic is given, ask multiple questions on that topic. Now asking multiple questions, now you have opened the Pandora's box. You can answer all the questions again in 2 pages. जैसे यहाँ पे very simple approach, but it works effectively. Actually, I'm not expert in essay because in my first attempt I got 101 in first, फिर 85 आया मेरा essay में, second mains में, फिर this mains में I got 106. I wouldn't say myself expert, but I have read Anudeep sir's book, so based on that I'm just trying to convey. ठीक है, ultimately you have to decide. तो anecdote लिखो, then you can ask multiple questions कि ठीक है, social media is creating FOMO. Suppose you can say the first question can be why social media is creating such a FOMO. You generate curiosity in that examiner, that now you will discuss through question. He will also know that what is going to come ahead, that somewhere you will discuss this कि why social media is creating FOMO. ठीक है, ऐसे उसके बाद लिख दो is it, अगला क्वेश्चन पूछो is it related to the value degradation in the society, क्वेश्चन मार्क, 2 क्वेश्चन बन गया. फिर why youth are especially targeted on the social media, why they are most affected, ऐसे एक क्वेश्चन बना दो. फिर why it leads to depression, loneliness, उसके बाद एक क्वेश्चन और are there other effects of the social media, like in the essay they have sent depression and loneliness, you put 3-4 more points कि are there other effects. तो एक पैरा में if you discuss give some more point कि other than depression and loneliness there are so factors. So it creates, like again I'm saying, multi-dimensional analysis, widest possible analysis. You have to show examiner that you can think very widely. ऐसे एक benefit भी है, you will never run out of the content, because when you create multiple dimensions you can write, like there are 12 pages I used to fill for, you can fill 18 pages. Then you will have to balance how to condense, इतना content हो जाएगा if you know how to break the topic into everything. फिर एक क्वेश्चन ये भी पूछो, is social media always harmful, क्योंकि बेनिफिट भी तो है. ये स्टेटमेंट इज अबाउट निगेटिव कि सोशल मीडिया क्रिएटिंग फ्रोमो एंड लोनली डिप्रेशन आ रहा है, तो फिर उसके आंसर में यू कैन राइट कि डबल एज स्वॉर्ड है. बेनिफिट बताओ, एक पैराग्राफ में यू डिस्क्राइब बेनिफिट, एंड डोंट जस्ट राइट रैंडम बेनिफिट. रिमेंबर वेरी स्पेसिफिक गुड एग्जाम्पल, वेरी सच एग्जाम्पल विच फील्स वेरी गुड टू ईयर्स. ये एडवांस में व्हेन यू प्रिपेयर योर नोट्स फॉर सोशल मीडिया, you have to prepare very good positive sides of social media के ऐसे 5-10 examples you should have. Negatives के you should have 5-10 examples, because they act as a handy tools, directly implementing. This is very important. तो एक क्वेश्चन हो गया कि ठीक है. Now in GS topic, how it is different from philosophical. Actually, one more thing here you can do is you can analyze any GS topic is like social way, economic way, political, but doing these things in philosophical essay is generally not recommended. जैसे you can, like somebody who doesn't know how to ask questions and not able to generate multiple questions, they can simply start कि social media का क्या social impact है, ठीक है, किसी youth पे, थोड़ा political impact बता दो, cultural impact बता दो, ऐसे आप multiple dimension में लिख सकते हैं. GS का आंसर में ये फ्रीडम है. एंड वन मोर थिंग यू कैन डू इन GS का इससे इज दैट GS का सिलेबस इज गिवन, राइट, ऑल द टॉपिक्स यू कैन यूज देयर पॉइंट डायरेक्टली. सिलेबस से यू कैन पिक अप डायरेक्टली कीवर्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कीवर्ड इफ यू कैन फिट समवेयर. ये एबिलिटी डेवलप हो करनी पड़ेगी. दिस इज नॉट दैट समथिंग यू कैन लर्न इन डे 1. ये एबिलिटी टू हाउ टू यूज वेरियस, लाइक इन इथिक्स पेपर वी हैव इन्वायरमेंट वर्सेस डेवलपमेंट डिबेट, ठीक है. Sometimes you can directly use that debate in here, right, along with ethical dilemmas we learn, उसको use कर सकते हो. In GS type of essay, the advantage is that GS topic is very wide and you can connect, interlink and fill your pages. This is the GS. ये क्वेश्चन पूछो उसके बाद you start answering each questions. Each question when you answer, you can further break it, like suppose I said is social media always harmful, अभी उसके आंसर में you tell its harm in multiple dimension, ठीक है. टेल दैट कि चलो थोड़ा सोशल हार्म है, थोड़ा सा पॉलिटिकल हार्म है, इकोनॉमिक हार्म है, बेनिफिट में भी 3 डायमेंशन दे दो, तो थोड़ा सा GS में ये फ्रीडम है. नाउ दिस इज माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग. आई डिड दिस, आई यूज टू राइट essays like this for GS. और वन मोर थिंग, flow of the essay is very important. Suppose you have written one paragraph. Now asking question is very tricky thing. The one question you ask, now the second question that you ask, It should not be entirely different from the first question. थोड़ा सा लिंक रहे, भैया थोड़ा फ्लो दिखना चाहिए. Like it should show that you are deriving points from the next point. थोड़ा सा एक कनेक्टिविटी दिखनी चाहिए. और when you are like answering first question, ठीक है, in the last line you have answered like in paragraph 1 question, in the last line you can say that like जो तुम्हारा next question है, giving reference to that question, you can say that okay, so can we now we will move towards analyzing the positive impact. Last में दे दिया. अब जब next para you will start, so it will show that there is a connectivity. Flow is very important. ये flow will be maintained when you know how to connect the last word with this word. Sometimes what many students do, like economic analysis कर लिया, फिर यहाँ last में लिख दिया, now let us analyze politically. फिर यहाँ से लिखना start करें politically if we see such and such things करते हैं. ऐसा करके कर सकते हो. Try to maintain a flow. Try to connect one paragraph with another paragraph. और एक मतलब according to Anidip sir, one paragraph should contain one good idea. Like do not try to give multiple ideas in one paragraph. एक idea, one paragraph. Actually, the story is like in GS का somebody asked that how many points. Like I said that 4 points written well, articulated well, given with examples and all. It is more effective. If I am an examiner, I will give more marks. Similarly, one idea per paragraph try to give that as per my understanding is more impactful. One paragraph, one idea. Connect कर दो, ये हो गया. Now quickly we will do philosophical essay. This I have got the knowledge from Subra ma'am's class. Subra ma'am का essay का some classes are there. My friend who has PSI are optional. He suggested me to go through it. Very good insights he gave about philosophical essay is that as CJ professor of philosophy PSIR उनको she had lot of knowledge about various philosophers, various scholars, right? So what she said this thing. Suppose like there was question on happiness. Happiness, there is no path to happiness. Happiness itself is the path, right? Like there is no path to happiness. Happiness itself is the path. ठीक? Now the thing is how she told to approach this essay is that ठीक है, first thing is any anecdote. Like I wrote this essay, what I did, Ikigai book you have read, na? Ikigai is about happiness, having balance in life, all those things. Actually I prepared 20 to 30 books का collection beforehand, like in my essay notes. ChatGPT से पूछो कि happiness पे एक book दो, democracy पे एक book दो, it will give थोड़ा summary. You know, I remembered that Ikigai and it was a case study on Okinawa town in Japan, where life expectancy is very high due to happiness. Because people are very happy, they tend to live longer. So I made this as a anecdote, starting story कि happiness के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताया और conclusion में भी I concluded with Okinawa कि let us build a society where everybody is happy as people are in the Okinawa town and we should strive towards finding our own Ikigai. Ikigai word means a way of life, a way of living. Like that you can conclude. अभी ये complete feeling आ गई कि start and finish. This is very important. अब philosophical essay में I will tell ma'am का approach. I totally got the knowledge from her. She said that you go to various scholars who have given content on happiness. Like Socrates have different idea of happiness, Aristotle different, Bhagavad Gita different idea, Buddhism different idea, Jainism different idea. There are some who say that like nihilist, Nietzsche used to say that there is nothing called happiness, ये सब बकवास है. There is this school, they don't believe in happiness. They say that the life is very sad. There is one school and you will properly find name of scholars like Albert Camus. He said there is no meaning to life. Like Nietzsche said that God is dead, we have killed him. Such a negative statements. Abhi kya hai, ma'am said prepare each scholar from various dimensions, various schools of thought. Existentialist scholar, essentialist scholar. Essentialist scholar are those who are optimistic, who say that okay, there is some meaning in life. Like essentialist, preparing for UPSC, they will say if you work hard you will be selected. This is essentialist. Existentialist will say work hard, there is no guarantee, you, but negative बोलेगा that you may not get anything, you will waste your life, you will do that, this. ये existentialists are like relatives, और essentialists are like very very close friends, those who motivate you. ठीक है, अभी identify 5 scholars of both those schools. ठीक है, for each scholar ask ChatGPT some quotes कि happiness पे इनका thought क्या था. Like Sartre is a existentialist scholar, Albert Camus, Nietzsche, Socrates is a essentialist scholar. उनका you search the idea of happiness. Ma'am said when you know this, you know the spectrum of scholar. Like Buddhism, happiness can be achieved by following 8-fold path. पहले उन्होंने बोला कि सब्बम दुखम, the world is a place full of sorrow. Initially he said, फिर फोर्थ पॉइंट में बोलते there is a way to deal with this, 8-fold path follow करो. इनका एक आइडिया है. भगवद गीता से इक्वानिमिटी, there is a concept, स्थित प्रज्ञ, in Hindi we say. Equanimity means balancing various aspects of life will give happiness. Bhagavad Gita says like this. It is different from Jainism. Means, ma'am said that try to ignite a debate in philosophical essay. It works wonderfully. You don't have to tell that I know what is happiness, because that is like who are you? इतने बड़े बड़े स्कॉलर बता के चले गए. Now you are claiming कि I know what happiness is. This backfires. Examiner will think that like if you say I know 5 points, follow this, you will be happy. So ma'am said this is very wrong approach. What you do, you on the paper 10 scholar you describe 10 different thoughts about happiness. कि see, they say happiness is like this, they say happiness is like this, and in conclusion you say, see, still the debate is going on, we need to debate more and more. ठीक है? You don't give authority कि I know what happiness is. ये थोड़ा wrong हो जाता है. Because essay like there is no path to happiness. You can say, look, throughout the centuries scholars have debated, certainly there is no path to happiness. Not a single path to happiness, because debate hai. Ma'am's idea is very simple. Any such vague topic is there. If you go analyze PYQ of essay, like happiness, character, honesty, these are the themes. Honesty पे जाके 10 scholar का idea prepare करो. One scholar will say honesty is very bad because it will like you will not succeed in life if you are honest. A scholar will say that honesty is a virtue. Like Gandhi ji will say honesty is the policy, best policy. Now in the paper give both the scholar, because you are not saying, scholar is saying what should I do. Like scholar is saying, right, he has done PhD, so he has credibility. I have no credibility. Point is, in philosophical essay try to use others ideas as a weapon to write your points beautifully. ठीक है, अब जैसे यहाँ पे you have like this debate I said 10 scholar आपका 4-5 पेज ले जाएगा. ठीक है कि there is no path to happiness because such and such is the debate. अब हो गया. Now happiness itself is the path. ठीक है. Now this second part of the question, इसको how you understand is very important. Like how I interpret it is कि happiness itself is the path means we are grateful. If you are grateful in daily life, like there is one quote कि you will not become happy when you are successful. You will become successful when you are happy. I think this quote I remembered. So now I have to give some points. So I started with this because I have to answer the second part of the question. In that also I try to use some logic. जैसे some भगवद गीता का मैंने यहाँ पे भगवद गीता I deliberately avoided in the discussion. भगवद गीता मैं लेके because personally I subscribe to भगवद गीता. तो I gave some points here कि certain like there are 3 paths. ठीक है, as इस तरह से. तो happiness का मैंने actually मेरा central theme यहाँ पे हो गया था gratitude. I said now this is also one path. One में debate कि आप भी तो एक path बता रहे हो. ठीक है, but I did not try to give a very neutral approach. Like I try to there is tone. Your language is a tone. एक होता है suggestive, एक होता है prescriptive. In prescriptive you say that follow this will work. In suggestive you just describe your own thought. I think now in the second part of essay they try to know your own thought कि what do you think about happiness. ठीक है, and in a very suggestive manner, not in a prescriptive manner. तो gratitude पे गया और इसमें like there is no part to happiness and इसमें जब ये ओकिनावा टाउन को लिखा तो here also I asked 4-5 questions. जैसे पहला क्वेश्चन था what are the various debates related to happiness throughout the history. अभी मैं इधर डिबेट करूंगा, दैट विल बी आंसर्ड, राइट. फिर लिखो, इज द डिबेट रियली मीनिंगलेस, राइट. डू वी हैव सम कंक्लूजन. इस तरह से कुछ 2-4 क्वेश्चन पूछो, ठीक है. ये हो गया. उसके बाद हैप्पीनेस इज द व्हाई इट इज बीइंग सेड दैट हैप्पीनेस इटसेल्फ इज द पाथ. एक्चुअली द ब्यूटी ऑफ एसे इज दैट यू कैन कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट दिस स्टेटमेंट एज वेल. यू कैन से दैट like essay is saying happiness itself is the path, you say that I don't agree with this also. You can give your own original thoughts कि happiness itself is not always the path. Actually a debate हुआ ना, you can take a stand कि see there can be path working for multiple people, like multiple people have different way. Jainism has different way, they have different way. मतलब after a debate you try to give your own idea in a very suggestive way, not prescriptive way. Gratitude के बारे में मैंने बताया. Gratitude में then I also included vipassana meditation which I practiced. तो vipassana meditation का some component I try to include. Basically the idea is that in philosophical essay you have to beat around the bush. There is no single right answer for philosophical topics. You have to beat around the bush. You have to ignite the imagination in the mind of the examiner, that he must feel that you are trying to cover as much aspect as possible, like widest thoughts that they try to see. तो ये प्रैक्टिस से थोड़ा आंसर लिखोगे, प्रैक्टिस से होगा. फिर उसके बाद अपना कंक्लूजन में आई कंक्लूडेड विद ओकिनावा टाउन का स्टोरी लाइक दैट. सो माय सजेशन फॉर एसे वुड बी दैट first you should have anecdotes and stories that you can generate using ChatGPT. Try to take stories from like Indian mythology है, Ramayana, Mahabharata. They actually give very good marks. Like if there is a story on character, you can say that Karna का character, that he was despite being such a brave person, he took the side of enemy, right? You can put this point as a anecdote also in somewhere in between as example you can put. So this is my first suggestion would be there are 20 to 25 themes in the philosophical essay. Try to have an anecdotal story on each themes. Second would be that after you have prepared various themes, then second is the what we call scholars. Have scholars prepared and then answer all those things. And then third is that try to have multiple examples on each topic. These are the basic things, and then practice, and I think it will happen. बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम हो गया. I have to leave also. Now we will quickly move to anthropology actually, because I have a flight and traffic. I heard that in Bangalore is severe. If I don't leave at time, I will be stuck here. देखो एंथ्रो का I will say something quickly. As I have scored highest marks, one reason is that जो मैंने GS में आंसर राइटिंग की बताई कि डिसिप्लिन बहुत स्ट्रांग है. डिसिप्लिन यू हैव टू शो इन द आंसर राइटिंग ऑफ द एंथ्रो. अच्छा, हाउ मेनी हैव एंथ्रो ऑप्शनल हियर? Then rest can leave also, because now intro discussion will happen. If you want to sit, you can sit. अरे sociology, I don't have sociology option. इतना मत काम करवाओ. तो एंथ्रो का देखो बेसिक थिंग्स आई विल टेल. फर्स्ट इज कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी, कि जितने भी पॉइंट्स गिवन है सिलेबस में उन सब के आपके पास नोट्स होना चाहिए. बढ़िया कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी. सेकेंड इज PYQ analysis, multiple times have notes on the themes which are repeated. Third is answer writing. Answer writing में again discipline you have to follow, लेकिन थोड़ा सा GS से different है. How? In here answer writing you have to give anthropological perspectives. There are various scholars, there are various case studies, there are various specific examples related to tribal societies. Now you have to include them as an example, as a to bring credibility in your points. Like I said, examples to quote in the GS. As a here to make your answers more credible, you quote the anthropological scholars. That is very important. तो आंसर राइटिंग में वो डिसिप्लिन वही फॉलो करना है, बट थोड़ा सा एंगल चेंज करना है. मीन्स यू हैव टू गिव स्कॉलरली पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. इसको जीएस की तरह नहीं होना चाहिए. गिव वन स्कॉलर की सम स्कॉलर समथिंग सेड समथिंग अबाउट सोशियो कल्चरल लाइक रियलिटी ऑफ द सोसाइटी, रिलीजन के बारे में, फंडामेंटल रिलीजियस फंडामेंटलिज्म इज देयर आर फ्यू स्कॉलर्स हु हैव सेड समथिंग, राइट दैट. तो प्रिपेयर a list of like already in the if you cover foundation course, scholars are covered, try to make them make notes at one place so that you can again and again revise the scholars. Previous year question answer writing में anthropological perspective देना है. Fourth is I would say a revision. Again I cannot emphasize more on the revision part. जितनी बार revise करो उतना कम है. You have to revise a lot. Actually honestly 298 का कार्ड मुझे लगता है आंसर राइटिंग. This I did very unique. I used to quote very unique examples which are generally not present in the normal market. So unique examples, unique case studies, unique like case studies examples, scholars, some scholars which are generally not in the normal books. मतलब मैंने कहा ना कि all I use unique, but I would say 30% my content was such that I did research, उसको मैंने याद करके I implemented. So try to bring some uniqueness to your answer. It will work, and try to complete the paper. If you complete like anthropology 20 out of 20 questions, high chances that you will score high. Like मैं civil engineering optional जब लिया था, now that question why did I change? Actually civil engineering optional में the problem is first it is very vast, difficult to cover. It used to take the time of GS itself. Second, mentorship is not available in civil engineering. You have to do it on your own. Third, it is numericals are there. If you don't know numericals, whole answer you have to leave. But in humanities क्या है, if you know something, at least you will fill the pages. At least I will be confident कि 20 answers I can write. But in civil engineering you cannot do anything. ठीक है. This was the third point. Fourth point, anthropology was very scoring at that time. Like there was a perception. I did research. I talked to my seniors. I got to know that it is really scoring. It is working very well this time. So I shifted to that. Civil engineering में ज़्यादा नंबर नहीं आ रहे थे. So this is very practical reason. All those things combined and then working on these aspects, I think I was able to score very good marks. And see, any more doubts, queries are there, you can send to sir. Sir will communicate to me. I can write proper answers and send you because I have to leave. ठीक है. Thank you so much. और you can send your questions. ठीक है. Thank you.